Most sewing patterns have a designated seam allowance. So you find what it tells you that it's allowed for, 5/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. There's marks on the throat plate for your fabric to follow. But if you need just a little extra help, and we all do, because even I don't sew straight without some type of guide, there are 2 items that come with the Singer Simple 3337 that can help. So one is a seam guide. I'm going to show you where this actually attaches on the back side of the machine, and it will actually go in, and then you can set it for even further distance than the marks actually are. This is also good if you were sewing multiple lines on the fabric and needed to follow along row after row after row. And then you don't actually mark the rows, you just mark one and then move it over and then follow along with the guide, and you can have the perfect, say, 2-inch spacing row after row. Then there is also a foot that came with this machine with an adjustable guide. So feet just come towards you to slide off. Just make sure you don't push down. That can break that little mouth part off. And each foot has a bar. So we're just going to slip this. It's a very similar foot to the standard presser foot that I just took off. But now we actually have multiple markings of red lines all over this place. So you can see that we can find the center. We can see where the fabric edge and the needle would line up by putting our fabric right along this line or the one on the left. And then we can also set this up for different widths. So there's a little click, click, click. And then when you sew, all you have to do is keep the edge of the fabric next to the guide. And this will come all the way out quite a distance. So this is good, especially if you're helping a youngster learn how to sew. You can push it right up to the edge of the presser foot, and it gives them a visual guide, like just keeping that fabric hugged against that part, and then that way it just stays nice and even. So if you're looking to have more accurate straight stitching or rows of sewing, try one of the guides. And here, let me show you where that guide goes in to the back of the machine. So to attach the guide, forcefully push it into the back from the right side. Now it is going to be very, very tight, and that's good because you don't want it to actually be moved or bumped while you're sewing. So give it a good push. It just comes through that opening. You can measure from your needle to the guide to actually find what the measurement is. And then just as easy it is to put it on, you could also remove it from the back of the machine.